all weekend, like almost every time everyone's talking, I get that lump, like right there, like, oh, it's gonna come out right now. But how do you not get that lump in your throat when your husband says that about you? So get your Kleenex out, because I feel like it's gonna come out. You know, Bill Whittle had a lot of jokes, so I kind of got my own for you here. God went down to Eden to see how Adam was doing. And he says, Adam, so what do you think about life so far? And Adam said, it's quite hard work, and it's kind of a little boring, and a little lonely too. Don't worry, declared God. I've been working on a solution to all these problems. I'm going to create a woman for you. She'll wash and cook for you, agree with you all the time, and never nag or talk back. In fact, she'll do everything that you want and can imagine. That sounds great, says Adam, but how much will this woman cost me? And God says, I was thinking about an arm and a leg. And Adam said, that sounds a bit steep. What can I get for a rib? So, just to share a little bit about myself, I know a lot of you see me up here, and it does feel weird sometimes. You're like, Carmen, can we take a picture with you? It's like, guys, I'm just your friend. Of course you can take a picture with me. You know, you make me feel a little weird sometimes, but absolutely always I will take a picture with you. You just have to tag me in Facebook so I get a copy of it. I am the oldest of 4. I have 2 younger sisters and a younger brother. My brother is 13 years younger than me. My mom was pregnant with me when she got married to my dad, and they were 19. And I tell my mom, you know, I was looking at the wedding pictures one day, and it was a backyard wedding, nothing fancy. My mom has this big belly, and they had my mom's Mexican and my dad's German, and so they had a backyard Mexican party. My mom has the white t-shirt. You know when you go to Mexico, they're all embroidered with the flowers on it? So she's wearing that, and she has like white pants or a skirt, and my dad has the white pants, and he has his shirt with the flowers on it. Marijuana leaves on the shirt. I said, Mom, right there, wasn't that your first clue that was, you know, not the best pick there? So they were young, they were 19. They didn't know what the heck they were doing with the baby. They just got married. They never owned a home. They always rented. To this day, you know, they don't own a home. They're not married anymore. They stayed together for about 20 years. But it was a bad situation. It was the 70s. My name is Karma, if that gives you any clue to it. My parents were hippies, you know. So my dad did a lot of drugs. He was a drinker. He abused my mom. So when I was 11, I went to go live with my grandma and my grandpa. And they were probably in their 50s at that time. And I already had 2 sisters. Candace was 5 years old. She was in kindergarten, and Carrie was 3. So I did not grow up with my sisters after that. I never lived with them ever again. So a lot of you out there who have a situation like that, you know, it's weird. I kind of grew up as an only child because Candace wasn't born. I was 6 when she was born. I lived with her for a couple years, and then I never lived with them again. So I have sisters and a brother, but we didn't grow up together. I was raised by my grandparents, and they were strict. They had 3 girls and a boy, too, and they kind of all didn't turn out good. They tried their best. They sent them to good schools, but they didn't turn out as good as they thought. So they thought, okay, with Karma, we're going to protect her. We're not going to let her talk on the phone after 9 o'clock. We're not going to let her go out on the weekends and hang out with the wrong people. You know, I was like the hope of the one that was going to do something good. But with that age gap between a teenager and grandparents, by the time I was in high school, they're in their 60s, it's hard to communicate, you know. So that was rough. And I met Daniel when I was 16, and I just wanted to be with him, and I wanted to hang out with him. And I loved going to his house. His mom and dad are so nice, and a lot of you know them, so you know what I'm talking about. I always wanted to be over there. It was a nice place to be. It was happy. And so I wanted to be with Daniel all the time. And they're like, you can't hang out with just one boy all the time. You know, you need to not have a boyfriend. You need to go to school. You need to get a good job. You need to go to college. And I just wanted to be with him all the time. And my grandma said one day, what do you think? Are you like going to marry this guy? You're only 16. So I'm like, I'm going to show you. But it took a long time, you guys. We got married, we were 25. We had already been in Primerica a couple years. So Daniel started the business. He was 21 years old. and I was in college at the time. I was determined I was going to be the first one in our family to go to college and do the right thing and be the right example. I have a lot of cousins. If you're Mexican, you know you have a lot of cousins. I'm the oldest grandchild on both sides, so I had to set the example. So I was going to be the first one to graduate college. It was going to be like a big deal. And then Daniel gets into Primerica. So I go, he's like, okay, you're going to come to a meeting, come check it out with me. You don't have to do it. Just come. I just want you to support me. I said, okay. So I go to the meeting, and I'm like, okay. I didn't get it. Not all, you guys. If I come up here and tell you I got it, I didn't get it. I didn't see making $100,000. It seemed so far off. I didn't see going out in the field. I was super shy. There was no way I was going to go out in the field and talk to strangers and prospect people. But Daniel, he saw it. He saw it right away. And so he said, you know, you are turning in your IBA. I said, no, I'm not going to do that. He's like, I'm going to college. That's what I'm going to do. He's like, no, you're going to turn in your IBA because I need 3 recruits to get a promotion. Okay, so that's how I got started in Primerica. You know, Daniel needed a promotion, and I was one of the easy IBAs to get. So I was going to be the first to graduate college, and to this day, guys, I never did, because when I was in college, I was 21, I was afraid to take the speech class, because I didn't want to get up in front of the class of probably 30 people and do speeches. So I never got it. You know, so I understand when I hear people say I could never speak in public, because that's how I felt. I'm like, there's no way. Don't ever ask me to go up there and speak, because I'm not doing it. So if you're scared to do that, and you're saying it right now, like there's no way I'm never going to do it, don't ever say never, because you never know. But what I did see at the Primerica meeting that night, they showed a slide, and back then it was if you were young and you invested $25 a month, you'd have a ton of money by the time you retired. And I thought, hey, that's cool, because I have a lot of credit card debt. I've always loved to shop. Always. You know, I'm teaching Ava, she loves to shop. But we teach her, they don't get the credit card concept, and we kind of don't want them to get the credit card concept. You're like, Ava, if you have money, you can buy it. If you don't have money, then you can't buy it. So she has her little like zipper purse with all her change in it that she'll take with her to Target, and she's like in the dollar section, because that's all the change she has in there. And so I saw that, and I thought, wow, if all I do is save $25 a month, by the time I retire, I'm going to have a lot of money. I'll be good, you know. So I saw that. But at the rate I was going, without knowing that, I would never have paid off my credit cards. I had so many credit cards, guys. I had so many credit cards, I didn't even tell Daniel how many credit cards I had. I was embarrassed, and that's how bad it was. So he likes to tell everybody now all about those stories. You know, a lot of people look at me today and they think they would love to live my life, and that I'm so lucky. And they think I just show up on Wednesdays for op night and Saturdays for training, and I don't do anything else. I just have a lady at my house cooking and cleaning and doing everything for me, and I just sit there and watch movies all day. And a lot of you are so new in the business that you never saw me when we were building it and how hard I worked, and you never saw me work my butt off. So yes, I'll agree with you guys, yes, I am lucky, but I think that anybody can be lucky. And these are the keys that you need to write down if you want to be lucky and have a great life. Number 1, if you're brand new, if you're a partner out there, you need to turn in your IBA. If you haven't done that yet, help your agent get a promotion. You know, go through the classes and go on appointments and get licensed. So when you recruit somebody new in your business, you can tell them, this is what I did. This is how it works. This is how you fill it out. This is how you register for class. I'll help you study because you pass the test. Because I don't like to come up here, you guys, and tell you to do something that I don't know how to do, or I haven't done myself. Number 2, learn how to go over the new recruit packet with your teammates and help them set appointments. It's scary in the beginning, I understand. I remember setting up my first couple appointments. Daniel's room was upstairs in the corner at his mom's house. And I would go up there and I would lock the door so he wouldn't be in there listening to me make the call. I didn't want him in there. I was embarrassed. I was scared. I didn't know what to say. So help your new people do that, like the first couple times. And then I remember one time I set the appointment. He was outside the door just listening right there. And I remember being so mad. I'm like, go downstairs. Don't listen to me. So I totally get it, guys. I understand that. Not everybody is like, bam, on the phone, Roger Pena, 30 appointments in 1 month, you know. People are different. Number 3, attend all the trainings, learn the paperwork, and help your agent with pending business. I know probably Maria does a lot of pending business. When you're writing that much business, you want to make sure it gets issued because you don't want chargebacks. And if you're the kind of person like Daniel, you like to fill things out, drop it on the desk, and walk away and never see it again. You know, somebody has to follow up on all that kind of stuff. So make sure you know how to do that, because the last time I checked, my name's on his checking account too. So if you want that money to keep coming in, you need to make sure you're doing your part. You know, call your clients and help schedule the labs. If you need labs for your client that needs to get done, help with that. If you need to deliver a policy every now and then, you need to be licensed, so you need to know how to do that. You need to know how to key in FNAs. You know how many FNAs I've keyed in my life? I've keyed in so many FNAs. I could probably hit the tab button 3 times and know which page I'm on by memory. So you need to know how to do that, because sometimes your new people are going to call you and they're going to ask you how to do it, and you want to be able to give them the right answer. And sometimes you're going to be driving in your car, and you're going to have the knowledge where you've done it so many times, you don't even need to be in front of a screen to tell them what to do next. Number 4, be on the phone with your teammates on Tuesday and Friday. Find out who they're ringing at op night. Make sure they're picking them up. Find out what appointments they have. Make sure they're qualified. Because for me, guys, I guess I've always been this way. I always want him to myself. So if you're going to call me and you tell me you have an appointment and it's a 2-pointer, he's not going. If he's leaving me, it's going to be for something good. So you want to make sure, you know, if you have kids especially, you don't want to just send your agent out there on anything just to go do something. You know, you want them to be successful. And you want your new person to be successful too, because if they're out there in the field and they're setting appointments in the wrong market, they're going to think it doesn't work. But it does work, they're just in the wrong market. So make sure you're paying attention to that. Number 5, be able to handle things at home so your agent doesn't have to. You know, in the beginning, my job was to make sure all Daniel had to worry about was training and recruiting. And I had to worry about cleaning and cooking, and his mom doesn't cook, so I kind of got off easy on this one. He's good with like a burrito, or back in the day, top ramen or macaroni and cheese. He didn't expect all these gourmet meals. Babysitting arrangements, car issues, paying the bills, dry cleaning, all those things that he didn't have to do enabled him to go out in the field and make a lot of money. So now we have somebody who does all that stuff for us, where I don't have to do it anymore either. So you just need to be really organized with that. Number 6, be prepared to make new friends. Open your home to your team and their family. And I like doing that. I like having people over at our house, and I like entertaining, and I like throwing parties. But in the beginning, I didn't know what to say when people came over to my house. So I had to read a bunch of books to tell me how to start a conversation or how to talk to people. Because sometimes you have new recruits come to your house where they're maybe the same way, they're shy too. So you're both sitting there and you're like, what the heck are we going to talk about? You need to have something to talk about. So make sure, you know, if maybe that's your situation right now, there's tons of books out there that'll help you. Number 7, be prepared to have your schedule change, and it's going to change frequently. Do this happily without complaining. You know, you might be attending some parties or weddings or baby showers or quinceañeras by yourself with the kids, and that's okay. You know, I see a lot of partners where they know it's Saturday training, and then after Saturday training, maybe they have a birthday party that they're going to go to, or a family thing they're going to go to, and then all of a sudden your new recruit gets an appointment and your agent has to go on it, and they're complaining about this. And I'm thinking, lady, you know how much money your husband's going to make right now if you just let him go? But if you're like being a jerk to him, like, I can't believe you're going on that appointment, we had this family party to go to, now I got to go by myself. Who cares? You're going to see him later. It's like 2 hours of your life that you're not going to see that person. But if you put them in a bad frame of mind and they go out there on that appointment and they're all worried about the argument that you just had with them, they're not going to close. And the client's going to be like, look at this guy, he's all frustrated, he doesn't know what he's doing. But if you're like, okay, cool, after your appointment, go to the party, I'll save you a plate of food, they'll be all excited. They're like, okay, I'm going to go get a check, and then I'm going to go get food. But I see a lot of partners out there who give their agents a hard time for getting an appointment. The whole purpose of being on an appointment is to make money, to make your life better. Why would you fight that? I don't get it. So if that's you, you need to change that. Number 8, you need to be willing to self-improve. Attack your biggest fear, do not let it control you. Mine was public speaking. You know, I think it was last year, I spoke at our annual convention in front of thousands of people. And in the beginning, that was something I never wanted to do, and then eventually it ended up on my to-do list. Like, I did want to do that. I did want to go speak at a convention. I did want to, you know, not be afraid to do that anymore. But just because you're not afraid to do it doesn't mean you're not nervous to do it, or maybe you get those little like bubble guts. We call them bubble guts, where your stomach's like, oh, a little bit sick. That's okay. That just means you want to do a good job, and you're conscious of that. But to this day, I haven't seen anybody go on stage and drop dead and die. So if you're afraid of that, I've never seen anybody do that. Not yet. Number 9, learn to not take things personally. And for me, this is a hard one. It's still hard. He'll say something to me, and I'm like, oh, I can't believe you just said that to me. He's like, I'm not saying it to you, but I'm saying it to you. And I'm like, okay, give me a minute to get over myself, and then I'll totally pay attention to what you're saying and get it. But a lot of women are like that. Your husband will tell you something, or someone in the office will tell you something, and you take it personally. Don't take it personally. They're not saying it to you. Maybe it's just their way of communicating. They don't know how to say it the way you want them to say it, and you can work on that too. So try not to take things personally. It'll save you a lot of grief if you can get over that one. Number 10, when you feel like you cannot handle it, ask for help. If you feel like you can't handle your kids, it's getting too crazy, ask for help. If you feel that maybe your partner or your agent, you can't handle it anymore, ask for help. Ask your upline for help. Not your downline, not your girlfriends, not your kids. An upline with experience who's going to point you in the right direction. And if that doesn't work, guys, the best thing you can do is you pray. You pray about it, you pray hard, and then you wait for the answer. I pray all the time. I pray for my husband, I pray for my children, I pray for my team, I pray for my friends, all the time. And I don't pray for God to change those people. I pray for God to change me. Maybe I need to be a little more patient or understanding, or maybe I need to be a little stronger in some instances. You guys, don't be too prideful. That hurts a lot of people out there. You need to pray about it, get better, ask for help. I knew that if I wanted the life of a successful leader in Primerica, then I had to grow. The Bible says, to whom much is given, much is required. To become great anywhere, you will have much responsibility. And I just want to say, Judy and Lewis, it was totally my fault. Your name wasn't on the list. I apologize for that. It was my responsibility to make sure this event went smooth. You guys, I tried so hard to make sure everybody had the right room, the right amount of beds, the right food, the right vegetarian plates. So if it didn't go exactly the way it should have been, I apologize. We'll get better on that. But we're always doing our best here. And you're not going to see all of your dreams come true until you start helping other people see their dreams come true. You need to encourage them and lift them up and help them believe in themselves. A lot of people in here right now don't believe in themselves, and they're just looking for that one person to say the one thing that's going to keep them around one more day, one more week, one more month. So you can be that for somebody else. And those are the things that I did when Daniel was on his 5-year run. That was my role during those times. Daniel told me that I wouldn't have to do it forever, but I had to commit to those things and give it 100%. And Bill kind of talked about this yesterday about being married, I always say this, you guys have probably heard me say it before, when we got married, divorce is not an option to us. I always say it's to the death. To the death. And if you ask our kids, they know that mom and dad are never going to be divorced. We're always going to be a family. And that's my responsibility as a wife and a mother to make sure my husband wants to be around me all the time. If it's me being the problem, then I got to fix the problem. And if it's him being the problem, then I need to tell him he needs to fix the problem. But there's a comfort in knowing that your partner's not leaving. So if you're always throwing out the divorce word, or you're done, or you're quitting, it makes your partner feel like, well, why the heck am I here? I'm going to do one more thing and he's going to get mad and leave. What's the point? You got to decide today that that's not an option. It's to the death. When you said your vows, most of you, it's till death do you part. And if you didn't say it then, you better say it today together, and you know that there's no going anywhere else. This is what you're going to do. This is your family. This is your business. You need to make a commitment, because if you're not committed to your partner, you're not committed to your team. You're not committed to your business. You're not committed to your children, because it starts with you. And it starts with me and him. We made the commitment when we got married. We were going to raise our kids, and we were going to be together. And we always tell each other, I can't wait till we're old and we have those matching sweat outfits on, or those workout outfits. I want to be that. I want to be those old people you see holding hands, and they're at dinner together and they're talking. I want to be that. I want that. So you need to remind yourself, what do you want? And so today, for all those things that I had to do, all my hard work, these are some of the rewards. Because you guys always ask me, so what's your life like now? What do you worry about, Karma? I worry about the same things you guys worry about. Did I tell somebody at home that I was going to be gone for the weekend to feed the dogs? You know, things that we have to worry about. Did I get a babysitter? Did I pack sunblock? Did I sunblock my kid? I worry about all those things too. I just don't worry about things that money things, like can I pay this or can I do this? You know, I have a car, I have a new car. Hey, did you guys see that Maserati over there? I told Dan I want one of those, and he said, before you die, I will buy you a Maserati. So I just want to let everybody know that. And there's also a car out there, I think it's a Range Rover, or it's a black Range Rover. It actually has my name on the license plate, so I thought, wow, did I get another new car with my personal license plates here? You know, but more importantly, guys, my car doesn't run out of gas unless I forget to put gas in it. And now they make these cars where it actually counts down how many miles you have until you actually run out of gas. Because before, when I was a waitress and I only had $20 cash tips in my pocket, I only had $20 to put in my gas tank. So I was always running out of gas, guys, all the time. One time I just rolled into the gas station, like, stopped. So that never happens anymore. My kids never have to push my car. They never have to sit out in the hot heat. You know, if something needs to be fixed, we fix it. Our house is completely paid off. There's no mortgage on our house. And so the kids say, you know, are we going to move and get a different house? I said, no, we're not moving. This house is our house. We don't ever have to pay a bill for this house ever again. It's our house. I said, you're probably going to live in this house. I might move somewhere else, but this is probably going to be your house forever. And that's awesome, to know that you always have, no matter what happens, a roof over your head. And your kids will always have somewhere safe to sleep. You know, my checks never bounce. And that's not because I pay the bills, it's because Daniel's a good saver. My credit card works every time I go to use it. I don't have to worry about them telling me, can you give me another card? This one didn't go through. And I know that feeling because I used to have tons of credit cards. I'm like, okay, try this one. Try 25 on this one and then try 45 on that one. And it should be good. I don't have to do that anymore. My American Express works all the time and it's paid off every month. So there's never those finance charges that you have to pay. I have a fully funded retirement fund, so when I am old in that sweat outfit, I won't have money to spend. I can travel anywhere in the world that I want. I don't need to spend every vacation cleaning out the garage or running errands or fixing things around my house. We get to go to places like Italy and Paris and Canada and Puerto Rico and Hawaii and London, and we get to take our family with us. Our kids are very lucky that we get to send them to private school so they can grow up just a little bit better than we did. And I think one of the greatest things about private school, besides learning about God and all that, that's very important, but at the end of the year, their teachers give them character awards. So every kid gets a great character. They learn, they have a great characteristic in them in front of all their friends and all their teachers. And they're on the stage and the teacher says, okay, you know, so-and-so gets the award for the friendliest best friend ever to everybody. Like all these great attributes that little kids have that they don't know until somebody tells them. And when Eddie was up there the other night, and that thing that his teacher said to him when he was so small was so sad. So your kids are in school 8 hours a day, and that lady's telling your kids those things. That doesn't need to happen. You can make enough money here to send your kids to a school where the teachers and the principals have the same values and morals that you do, and they're pushing your kids up. If that happens, guys, if someone ever said anything like that to my kids and I heard it, or I heard about it, you better believe that lady's not going to be working at that place very much longer. You know, we get to donate to our church and to our charities. And they used to have at the PTA meeting where they do the wish list, and the principal says, okay, we need this or we need that. And I think now they just email us. Instead of doing the wish list thing at the PTF, they're like, can we get a new camera? And Daniel's like, good, I got the new camera, take it to the school. So Daniel's like their personal wish list answerer. You know, and then our family benefits, guys. We bought my grandpa and my sister new cars. We sent my sister, Carrie, through college. So she is actually the first one in our family to graduate college. But I get privileged to say, hey, I helped pay for that. And she's one of only a few of her friends who've graduated college debt-free. She doesn't have to pay any loans back. She's able to make money right off the top. We've taken my grandparents to Cancun, all-inclusive. Remember that Moon Palace a couple years ago? We went there, and my grandpa loved that all day long, in and out of the restaurant. I see him in and out, in and out. Beers, food, ice cream. And here comes Max. Ice cream, ice cream, ice cream. Like, just because it's free doesn't mean we need to eat everything there, guys. We've been able to take Daniel's parents to Hawaii. I took my sister Candace to Kauai and her son. And my sister Carrie and Daniel's sister Lindsay, we got to take them on a European trip with us. And that was so much fun. And now, you know, Lindsay's married and Carrie's probably going to be married soon. We'll probably never get that opportunity to spend that time with them, just the four of us, ever again. So that's just something that memories we'll all have, always, guys. You know, and Jeffrey, right here, he goes on so many Primerica trips. We've had people ask us, like, he'll watch the kids for us. Like, when we're in the meetings, he'll be at the pool. They're like, do you guys have a bodyguard for your kids? Because there's this guy who just follows your kids around all day long. So your family benefits too. So maybe in the beginning, you don't know why you're doing Primerica. You need to think about why you're doing Primerica. Think about all the people in your life who you want to do great things for. And I hope you learned a lot of tools this weekend that you can take back and apply. But today you need to decide that you're going to go back and you're going to become a better you. Nobody can change your life except you. Your partner can't change you, your kids can't change you, your parents can't change you, it's just you. And I believe God has put us all here together this weekend for a reason. I believe our hierarchy is destined for greatness. I just know it. You know, some things you just know, and that's one of the things that I know. I'm so excited for you guys. I think this has been an amazing retreat. I've had so much fun myself. But you need to go home and you need to get a game plan. If you're sitting out there and you don't know what your next step is, you need to sit down with your partner and you need to make a game plan. Go back and be different. Go and win for your family. You know, go give your children their dream life, the life that you wanted when you were little. You're like, oh, if I only had rich parents, I'd have this, this, and that, or I'd do this, this, and that. Give that to your kids. If your parents didn't give it to you, give it to your kids. And I don't know if Max is in here, but he always has a bet that mom's going to go up on stage and cry. And he's like, Mom, you always cry when you go up there. And I'm like, Max, because you don't know how much I want to do great things for you. There's nothing that Daniel and I wouldn't do for our kids. There's nothing. We'll stay up late. We'll get up early. We'll work hard so they can have a great life because they deserve it. You know, you don't get to pick your parents. But you get to pick how you treat your children, and you get to pick the life you give your children. And I want to end with this, guys. This is my favorite Bible verse. It's Jeremiah 29:11. And it says, For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future. And I just believe it. You know, some things you just know, and I just know that's true. And I know that this is your future, right here, right now, in this room. And this is the answer that you've been praying for. You've asked for help. You've asked God, God, please give me an answer. What can I do? How can I do it? And He's answering you right now. So you need to ask yourself this question. Are you going to take advantage of the opportunity, or are you going to go back and be exactly the same and have exactly the same life and same friends as you've had before? Or are you going to go back and do something about it and give your partner and your children and your family and yourself the life you deserve? And are you going to do something to be proud of yourself? That is the question you need to answer today. Thank you, guys. Love you.
All right, how's everybody doing? Everybody hanging in there? Yes. Great. I'm going to share with you, it's kind of, as far as the history of our hierarchy, and I really do believe that we're a hierarchy of destiny, right? To reach our rightful place as the number one hierarchy to ever come through, to ever be part of Primerica. So I want to share with you, kind of where it started. Obviously, thank God, that we have an awesome leader, awesome leaders, right? And you look at some of these pictures right here. Okay, this is where Daniel Karma started. I think Daniel just woke up really late on this picture day because he looks like he's really tired. But he says those were his Asian days. And I don't know how old they were exactly right here, teenagers, right, obviously, right? And then this is them, those of you who got your $10,000 jackets this weekend, right? That's a picture of them getting their $10,000 jackets. And then they started, this is their championship team right here. That was kind of probably their first potluck that they ever put together, right? They were going to do something great. And then this is them getting their Pioneer jackets. Now it's called the Future. And a lot of you have gotten that Future, and some of you are on your way to doing that. And even though it says SNSD right here, this is their plaque. That's their NSD promotion, National Sales Director, soon to be Senior National Sales Directors. But you know, I look at Daniel and Karma, right? What were the odds, right? 21-year-old kid coming into Primerica. What were the odds that he was going to do something great and build a super hierarchy? You know, you know, I look at, you know, nobody really, you know, Eddie had a great recognition for his RVP promotion on Friday night, wasn't it? Yeah. Special. You think they're going to remember that forever? Yeah. I think a lot of us will remember that as well. You notice there's no RVP promotion picture here. And that's because when Daniel Karma, and this is not a negative talk, guys, this is just what it is. This is just a history. But when they went regional vice president, their promoting regional vice president didn't make it so easy on them. And here's kind of what happened in a nutshell is we got invited to Daniel and Karma's upline at the time. He was the RVP in our base shop. Daniel and Karma were going to RVP. And we went over their house, and they had a plan that they were going to keep everybody and then have Daniel go out as RVPs by themselves. And if you look back at where we were at, Daniel and Karma just, you know, kind of kids growing up in Primerica, brand new, and this was a kind of, you know, this guy had already kind of had some success, and everybody knew who they were. And it would have been very easy when I went to this meeting. They said, here's what we're going to do. We're all going to write letters to the home office and tell them why we're willing to stay with them. And obviously everybody was, the group that was there was only 3 couples there. And everybody say, you know, well, nobody had an issue with that, but I had a big issue with it. And obviously, looking back, it was probably wasn't you know, obviously, if you had a chance to go with somebody who's, you know, making $500,000 a year and just rock and rolling and then you got a chance to go with the new RVP, where who knows where the future is going to hold. I happen to knew what it was going to hold, but probably wasn't a smart move. But I said I ain't doing that because I always believe that if it's ethical and moral, I ain't doing it. I don't care if it's going to help me, even if it's going to help you personally short term, don't do it. And I said, no, I ain't doing that. I don't agree with it. And we left, and that never happened. And thank God that never happened because obviously Irma and I wouldn't be here today. But I think more importantly than that, I even look back at, and I don't mention their names because we're protecting the guilty a little bit here. But really, it was really a great move for them because Irma and I went with Daniel and Karma, and when they got promoted, that guy made a ton more money because there was nobody more focused to help us do something great with our life than Daniel and Karma. So he's made a whole lot more money because I helped him make a better decision. Does that make sense? But the message there is that you need to be dedicated. You need obviously to win here, but I think more important, you need to have some integrity and you need to be loyal to your leaders, right? If you're ever talking bad about your RVP, you need to take a step back and look at yourself in the mirror because that RVP did something great to get to that level and is going to give you a shot to do the same thing. You need to take all the things they're willing to help you with and just remember this, that if you win and you go make money, then your upline wins and they make more money too. So it's just ridiculous, retarded to think that they would do something that wasn't in your best interest. Does that make sense? So again, obviously, when they got promoted, they kind of got kicked out to RVP, and we were kind of homeless for a week or two. Or I went to Hector's office for a week, and then we ended up at Tom and Minute Garage, which was was great for everybody. And so then they started building they're starting to build this base shop, and then they're starting to build this hierarchy. This is the B code, and the reason why we call it the B code is because this is the best code. And so, and it's where it started. A couple of the RVPs, listening here is the first one is, Flavia and Sonia Nuno, right? Team Heat, right? Where's Flavia and Sonia? You guys here? Awesome. And Flavia and Sonia, just a great quality couple, and he left a really good job. And I want to talk about this for a minute. Flavia left a really good job, similar to what I did, right? He had a good government job, and he left that to come build a business in Primerica. So he brought a lot of credibility with him to say, hey, listen, I don't care if you got a good job or not. This is better than a good job here. I'm going to read you a quick quote. It says, I freed 1,000 slaves. I could have freed 1,000 more if only they knew they were slaves. And that was Harriet Tubman. And I think you all need to realize if you have a job, you need to realize that you're a slave. This is another one from Bob Marley. Better to die fighting for freedom to be a prisoner all the days of your life. So you need to make a decision. I'm not saying that you need to go full time, quit your job on Monday. Some of you probably may be in position to do that, but what I'm telling you is you need to have a game plan that you're going to fire your boss and get out of what you're doing and get to a life where you have freedom and choice and you get to spend more time with the people you care about. That make sense to everybody? Okay, no slaves in this room, right? Right. And then obviously we've got my favorite RVPs, Victor and Martha Quesada. Best team players in the hierarchy. There's, always can count on them. Obviously, they're more than friends to us. They're family to us. And Irma and I love you guys both. I know you guys are getting ready to do something great, and we're excited to see that growth and what's going to happen. And just get ready, right? I know it's coming for you guys. And then we have the awesome Vince and Ashley Ibarra, one of the newest RVPs. Actually, the newest $100,000 earners in Primerica. And by the way, all of you need to get to the $100,000. That's where it starts, right? Get the ring, and obviously Vince and Ashley have proved it's done. It's possible. And they're so young, man. I can't, they should be fired up and excited about their life. I mean, I always say when I meet young couples, I say, if I had one wish, I wish I'd have started when I was your age. Irma and I started when I was 35. Irma was 21. And so obviously, and I don't know Ashley a lot, but I've heard nothing but great things from your upline, Alex and Mercy. But I do know that she's the right partner for you, buddy, because I can see based on the numbers and the income you're making that she's really what you were missing, and now obviously doing something great. So congratulations to your $100,000 ring. So proud of you. And really quick, I want Team Beltran to come up, right? We're only going to give you 1 minute while I do this part. Okay, so if you're on the Team Beltran, come on up for 1 minute. So here's the key, though. Okay, this is kind of as Daniel started building his base shop, actually his hierarchy here. That was one of our potlucks, right? You see that potluck right there? That was at a park, and you see that's me right there wearing that. I think it's an Air Force hat, and then that's Frankie that I'm holding his hands up. Now, Frankie's probably 1 or 2 right there. Frankie's now 14 years old, going to high school next year. Going to great high school, by the way. Thanks to Primerica, right? And I look at that, I say, man, doesn't time fly by fast? Doesn't it go like that? Who agrees with me? Time is just flying by. Here's the good news, okay? It can also change fast in Primerica for the better for you and your family if you make a decision this weekend that you're going to go do all the things that you know you need to be doing. But if you look at this picture, right? There's Alex and Mercy before they had children, right? You see this, right? No stress and big smile. Just kidding, showing our blessing. And obviously there's Daniel and Karma sitting in the front leading the pack. Well, the reason why I share that with you is we're the only 3 couples that are here today. So you need to realize that, not everybody's going to want to go in like we want to go in. And matter of fact, many will quit. I think the odds that people quit in this room have dramatically decreased, because you'd have to be pretty retarded if you paid attention these last few days. So you're kind of stuck now, but just go win. Okay, don't be stuck without winning here. Make sure you decide to go win. But the message is this: all these people are no longer here, which means they all quit, right? And that's okay. The key is you just can't quit with them and just continue to move forward. But I just wanted to share with you, our team up here, and obviously this is the team that's going to do something great to take this hierarchy to its rightful place as #1 hierarchy in Primerica. And I'm thinking about a few things, right? I was talking to Elfie and Evelyn last night. I was talking to Elfie. I said, you know what? And if you're not talking about Chuck and Rita and how you're going to go beat them, then you need to fix that. Okay, but I would say, the best thing about Chuck and Rita, obviously, I think they're an awesome couple. I just love the fact that they put the target way out there, right? If we didn't have them in our hierarchy, the target would be a lot closer than it should be. So they stretch and put the target way out there. But I want to let them know there's no reason why this team up here, obviously we're going to need to grow. It can't get 134 people to our op night. There's no reason why we can't get 80 plus people to our training. There's no reason why we can't recruit 46 people a month. There's no reason why we can't get 8 to 10 licensed codes a month. And there is no reason why we can't get this base shop averaging at 85,000. Do we need to grow to make that happen? Yeah. We're committed to doing that. But we all made a commitment as a team this weekend, starting with me, the leader, that we're going to work harder than we've ever had before in Primerica. By the way, when you're doing that, that's when you're the most happy in Primerica. Have we all figured that out too? But I just want to share with you my personal commitment and our team's commitment that we're going to go back and we're going to give the Negretti a run for their money. And that's with respect. I really respect their success they're having, but you got to go after #1, don't you? Right? And how do I know it's going to happen? If this is your first retreat, move forward. If this is your first retreat, I want you to stand right here in the corner. Okay, so that's why I know we're going to kick some tail, right? Because we're growing and we got a great new group of people. Obviously, we got a bunch of senior leadership here. They're going to get to RVP. They're the next RVPs. But if you don't have a bunch of new people here, then you need to make sure that when we get together the next time, you look at your team and you got a bunch of fired up young couples, right? So awesome. Give it up for the. Oh, matter of fact, we got to do our chant real quick, right? Get ready. We are. Proud to be your teammate, man. Go ahead. So moving along here. Alex and Mercy, actually, I want to share with Alex and Mercy, obviously, those of you who don't know, their family. Mercy and Irma are sisters. They were our replacement when we went RVP, and you know what they proved? The example that they've shown to each and every one of us? That you're one recruit away from an explosion. Okay? And all of you should go away excited about that. You're one recruit away from an explosion. When we recruited Alex and Mercy, I should say when Irma recruited Alex and Mercy into our base shop, that's when things started happening. Things started moving. They actually pushed us to regional vice president, and shortly thereafter followed. But obviously, guys, obviously we have obviously their family. We love them more than you can imagine. And I'm really excited that they're regional vice presidents today. They get to spend a ton of time with their two beautiful children, right? And I just think there's nothing better than building a business with family. So love you guys. And so the next, this is the next business that Daniel purchased. And by the way, you don't buy a Primerica business. You're offered a Primerica business if you seem like the right leader that you'd want to leave your people with. And that's the reason why Daniel and Karma own 3 businesses now. But when you look at this group right here, right, we got the awesome Shirley Robles, Regional Vice President. And I think what also, Shirley brings, all of you bring value and we're better because of you, but Shirley brings the example of partnership's important, but you don't need a partner to become a regional vice president of Primerica. So if you're sitting in this room and you don't have a partner, you're not married, Shirley's already shared with you, you don't need one. Obviously, it can help you to go get one, and that's going to be, but you can win on your own. So don't go find yourself a partner in a hurry because you think you need one to get to RVP, okay? So we're just so proud of, I'm not sure where Shirley's at, but so proud of you, Shirley. You make us better, too. Belle and Stella Lumeng, right? one of the hardest working, people, right? I look at Stella, one of the hardest working people that I've ever met in Primerica, right? She's just relentless, and I love her energy and her, her excitement. She always brings, right? Make it happen. Where's Stella? There she is, right? Awesome job, Stella and Bellarmine. You guys are awesome. And then we have the awesome Elfie and Evelyn Alonso. They are mad, and they want to make a difference, right? Always brings the excitement and energy. I think constant reminder to all of us that 90% of winning in Primerica in your life is being excited, right? And I just love the fact that they bring the energy and the excitement. Obviously, Elfie, and again, obviously, partnership's important too, right? Evelyn proved too that you don't need a partner to go RVP. But now she's got Elfie, and them together are just doing something great. I know, obviously, giving Negretti a run for their money and just doing some amazing things. But the one thing, obviously, Elfie brings a lot of knowledge and sharing of his wisdom and tools, and just makes us all better. So your guys are awesome. Give it up to Emmy, right? Mad, making a difference. And then last is Grayson Bernard, right? Second generation. I mean, I tell you what, those of you who have kids, man, I get jealous a little bit when I see Grace, because obviously, right, her mom set a great winning example, Primerica, and now she's a regional vice president doing something great, and I can't hardly wait, right, for Frankie and Jake to have an opportunity to work with those two guys, and I'm sure you parents all feel the same way, but just again, not only a second generation, but a $100,000 earner. I'm just so proud of the things that you guys are showing as far as that accomplished. So it's just an example of what our kids can look like if we set a great winning example. That's what Grace is. So Grace and Bernard, you make us better. And then obviously, I'm not going to, Naomi and Pablo and second generations, Gus and Ingrid, obviously just adding value to the hierarchy, right? Everything that they've done has made a difference. So, and then we got, this, what was it, the J code or the C code? What am I missing here? C code. C code. Okay. For champions, that's what Chuck said, right? Who said that over there? Okay. Obviously, they are the champions of this hierarchy right now, and they need some competition, don't they? Right, and by the way, it's only going to help them too. But Chuck and Reed are just a great example of partnership. I look at them, and they're always together. Right, the first RVP to build a $100,000 base shop, and I think that demands a standing ovation. Let's give them a hand. The awesome Chuck and Reed and Negretti. The Vince Lombardi of coaches, right? He's a tough coach, but generally, but really, I think I love about, Chuck and Rita is they're genuine. They truly want to see each and every one of you, us become successful, and I love that about them. And I was taught, I've known Chuck for a long time. You've heard became an RVP, and I always say, man, he's got this, tough, coach up front. But he's like a teddy bear, and I said that last time. I said, hey, dude, don't be messing with that, man. You're right. I'm a but they're awesome people, and you guys make this hierarchy awesome. So proud to be in biz with you guys. John and Dana Graham, another awesome couple. The kind of people that you like to be around, right? Obviously, I know you're going to build a great, huge big base shop and get all kinds of great people to follow him. And by the way, And John sings a heck of a karaoke, right? You guys got to see him sing La Vida Loca, man, because he does a dance to it as well. But how many of you are going to be singing La Vida Boca? Everybody going there? So the Grams, you make us better. Brett and Patty Curlew, new regional vice presidents in the hierarchy as well. One of the newest, again, one of the RVP in the hierarchy, and just great teachers and trainers, man. I just love it when you train at the RVP Academy. Such clarity, and obviously, with you guys being those great teachers and trainers, are going to build something great, do something great in this hierarchy too. Newest RVPs, Eddie and Suhi Rodriguez. Congratulations. And I was telling somebody on Friday, man, Eddie's one of my favorite people in our hierarchy. And after he was introduced as a regional vice president and the love that he got, I said, man, everybody feels that way about him, right? And obviously his wife Sue, but that's why they're going to win big, because he's developed a pretty tough coaching mentality because of his great leader that he's following him. But again, I think just a super all-around great guy. I'm excited to see you guys do something good. So again, I just want to end with, hey, look, it's nice to reminisce about the past, right, and all the good things that we've done, right? But you know what? It's all about the future, isn't it? It's all about the future in this hierarchy, and so we need to make sure that we get it to its rightful place as a #1 hierarchy in Primerica. And we need to start thinking big. All of us need to see this hierarchy worthy of being the #1 hierarchy in all Primerica, don't we? Yeah. One of the things Bill Whittle did yesterday, the example he did, remember at the end where he had everybody stand up based on your numbers? Yeah. Was that scary or what? Was that a wake-up call? But I tell you at the same time, I couldn't be more excited, because I think almost everybody in here probably felt like, man, I ain't working anywhere near as hard as I could be working. Did you guys feel that way? Yeah. So we need to make a decision that we're going to go back and work harder than we ever have. Skill can never overcome lack of effort, but effort can overcome lack of skill. You guys believe that? So I promise you, I'm going to go back and work harder than ever and get my directs and get wide. And obviously my goal is to double the size of our team so we can double the size of our business and help a bunch of people along the way. But, so it's time to go win for our family. So the last thing I want to share with you is a quick story. Guy dies and goes to heaven. When he gets to heaven, it's more beautiful than you can ever imagine. He's welcomed to the gates of heaven, and he says, we're going to show you to where you're going to be staying. And it just, obviously, rainbows and blue skies and white puffy clouds, and just everything is just as beautiful as it can possibly be. Except he sees this one warehouse, just a huge warehouse, no walls, and one door. And so he asks the angel, hey, listen, what's in that warehouse? And the angel says, hey, look, you don't want to know what's in that warehouse. So he just ignored it. The next day he wakes up and obviously goes and has breakfast and it's just a beautiful day. And then he sees that warehouse again. He goes, listen, what's in that warehouse? And he goes, I told you yesterday that you don't want to know what's in that warehouse. I said, yes, I do. He says, okay. So he takes him to this warehouse, opens the door, and there's just one desk sitting there and with the light on it, and there's a cardboard box. And by the way, there's millions of cardboard boxes in this warehouse, but this particular one has his name on it. He goes and sits down on the desk and opens up the box. And he starts going through this box, and he's looking at all these awards that he received while he was living. He's looking at all these pictures of him and his family traveling to great places, and just letters from his kids about how they were so proud of him and how much they appreciated it. Pictures of him becoming a regional vice president and a senior vice president, doing something great in Primerica, and Father of the Year award. Right, just all kinds of great recognition in there. Letters from his wife about how she's so proud of him. And then after he's done, he puts everything back in and he shuts the box. And he looks at the angel, and the angel says, well, what's wrong? He says, well, all those letters from my kids and my wife, I never got those letters. He said, all those pictures of all those great vacations I took my family on, never went on any of those vacations. And all those awards, right? I mean, I joined Primerica, but I quit. I didn't become a regional vice president. I didn't become a senior vice president. Didn't make, $500,000 a year. And so the angel says, well, see, the reason why we have all these boxes in here is that in that box is the life that God planned for you. But the problem is, you made different choices. And so my prayer for each and every one of us, starting this weekend, is that when we finish our life here and we go to the big house in the sky, we open up our box and it's empty because we lived the life that God intended us to live while we're here. Because we're going to make good choices. You cannot go back and make a new start, but you can start right now and make a brand new end. Proud to be your teammate. Let's go do something great. Let's Give it up to the awesome Daniel
So
Alonso.
number one, I am a client. I practice what I preach. Okay? The next one, I always ask for what I want. Ask, ask, ask. The universe rewards consistent, bold action. That's what the universe will always reward. If you start and stop and start and stop, you're going to burn yourself out. Yes or no, right? I mean, look, if you drove the car down the street and every time you put on the brakes and you put on the gas and you put on the brakes and you put on the gas and you put on the brakes over and over and over in short periods of time, you're probably going to blow out the engine. Yes or no? Right? Well, that's what everybody does because you don't ask consistently for what it is that you want. What do you want? Right? Once you know what you want, just consistently ask for what you want. I always show up. I never miss meetings. Meetings will generate team growth, confidence, skills, and credibility. And you need to be prompt. When you show up to a meeting, show up on time. Okay? Show up on time. Can you do that? How many of you think that you're consistently late? Just raise your hand. Just raise your hand. If you think you're consistently late. No, be honest. Be honest. If you think that you are consistently late, okay? At least you're honest. At least you're honest. But you know what? You can change that. You know how you can change that? Turn your clocks back, or turn your clocks forward. Okay? If you went into my bedroom right now and you looked at my clock, it is a half an hour ahead. Okay? Now Karma always tells me, Daniel, why do you do that? Right? I mean, you know that it's a half an hour wrong. Okay? I know that it's a half an hour wrong, but yet I'm always on time. And I'm always early. Okay? So I don't know what it is. Maybe you do that, maybe you do something else. Whatever it is that you do something to change that habit. Because honestly, I'll be real honest with you guys. You that are always late, I don't respect you. You know why I don't respect you? Is because you don't respect me. You don't respect my time. You don't respect the fact that I got here early this morning because I wanted to make sure that things were okay. And we kind of I had to make a call this morning, go make sure things were right. You need to be on time or early everywhere you go. Now, do things happen? Yes. Do mistakes happen? Yes. Are we human? Yes. I'm not saying if you make a mistake, you're a bad person. I'm just saying if it's a consistent over and over and over, that means you don't respect other people. That is one of the worst things that you can do as a leader is be late. I'm not kidding, guys. I mean, you ask my base shop. It is almost never that I'm late. Almost never. I mean, I can honestly, with a clear conscience, tell you that it is almost never. It is like 99.9% of the time I am on time. See, that is just a little thing that some of you will dismiss. It is a little thing that you think doesn't matter. But it always trickles down. If you're late, that means you have no respect for the speakers, for the office, for your team. Could you imagine, Chuck, showing up to your base shop and your new guest is waiting for you? Could you imagine ever? Is your new guest ever waiting for you when you show up to your op night? It is absolutely mind-boggling when a new guest shows up on Wednesday night and the new guest, and I said, so who invited you? I said, oh, they're not here. Don't worry, just go grab a seat. They're not even here. That is a lack of leadership, and you need to change that. And I'm not saying that it's going to be easy for you. I'm just saying that it's worth it. Because if you want to gain respect, you have to give respect. The next one, I am accountable and coachable. to obtain the feedback and direction required for success. I called Hector Lamarck almost daily, for 5 years straight. Who do you call every day? Who do you call every day? How bad do you want to win? How bad do you want to make it? See, if Corlew, if just because you're not rocking and rolling right now, you don't call nobody every day, okay? And you just think, oh, I'm on my own island. I'm okay. Flavio, I'm all right. I don't need, I don't need that stuff, right? If that's how you feel, how do you think your people are going to feel? I know I sound kind of redundant. You notice that there's a little bit of a redundancy in my messages here? That everything that we're doing, other people are going to do. So if we do these things, then that's what our people will do. So what are we trying to create? Are we trying to create a subpar organization with a bunch of weak individuals? Or are we trying to create an organization with a bunch of strong leaders? That's the question. What are you creating? Are you creating a bunch of people that are accountable and coachable and winning and champions and want to do something great with their life? Or are you having a lot of people not following, being accountable, doing what they say they're going to do? I guarantee you, the base shops that are not winning right now, it's because you have a bunch of slackers in your base shop. But doesn't it always start from somewhere? Doesn't leadership start from the top? If the leader's a slacker, he will build, right? He will build slackers. Okay? The next one is I visualize and focus on what I want. A big vision is key. Whatever I think about becomes my reality. Let me say that again. Whatever I think about will become my reality. So what are you thinking about? Are you thinking about a big base shop? Who's thinking about a big base shop? I dream about a big base shop. I think about a big base shop every day that I am alive. I think about a big base shop. All right? Every single day I think about a big base shop, because big base shop takes care of every one of your problems. Money problems, situations, every one of your problems, big base shop takes care of. Okay? So what are you thinking about? Are you thinking about how you don't want to lose? Or are you thinking about how bad you want to win? Are you thinking about what might go wrong? Or are you thinking about how it's going to go right? What are you thinking about? See, you see how it makes a humongous difference? If you think correctly, you're going to have more success in your life. I am an awesome promoter of big events. You need to sell out your op nights, retreats, conventions, fast start schools with passion. These are the non-negotiable items, by the way. And I'm only going over a couple of them with you here. But and so you get that, get the mouse pad and read it, and go over it, and put it in front of you and see it every single day. But you understand, look, these are non-negotiable if you want to win in Primerica. This is not, I'm not saying, hey, you should do this, if you like it. If you're going to win in Primerica, you will have a rocking meeting attendance. Every time I built a big base shop, we had a rocking meeting attendance. Every single time. Okay? So without fail, every time we had a great big base shop, we had big meeting attendance. Okay? I believe in partnership. Two people going in the same direction are unstoppable. I mean, it's very difficult, as committed that me and Karma are, it's very difficult to stop us. I mean, you'd have to have a gun to, and I don't even know. Karma would push me in front, but, hey, I mean, it would be very difficult to stop us, Joe. I mean, our minds are too connected. You guys with me here? It's like our goals are too focused. Like, we know what we want our life to look like. We're too connected. And so when you have a strong partnership and you have two committed people that love each other, I'm not saying two perfect people, because we ain't perfect people by no means. But two people that are committed in love, have a desire, a deep desire to give our kids a better life than we had, you're unstoppable. You are unstoppable. Next one is, I take personal responsibility for my actions. I live an excuse-free life. It is very rare, and you know, maybe some of you can let me know of some of my excuses that I've made in the past, but I think it'd be really, really difficult to come up with those. If you know me, it is very difficult to catch me making an excuse. I live in an excuse-free zone. Are you an excuse maker? Do you make a lot of excuses? Are you always talking about how it didn't happen because of this and this and this and this? Is that you? If that's you, you ain't gonna win. It is very difficult to win if you always have an alibi for why you didn't do what you were supposed to do. Okay? No more excuses. Can we make that commitment right now? Can we make that commitment? No more excuses. Excuses don't count in the big leagues anyways. Doesn't really matter. Could you imagine? I mean, if you came up here and you gave Bill Whittle an excuse, what do you think he would tell you? I mean, realistically, what do you think he would tell you? See, I was really lucky, because I got to get coached. You know, I got coached by Hector Lamarck. So I spent a lot of my life with Hector Lamarck. I spent a lot of my life. I spent a lot of my time. I spent a lot of phone calls, and I spent a lot of, you know, personal time with him. And that guy is a master at always finding a way. See, winners always find a way. They just do. Is it always easy? No, of course not. But winning is not supposed to be easy. Because if winning was so easy, then doesn't that mean that everybody would win? Well, if everybody in America had a big bass shop, we wouldn't have anybody go see. We'd own 98% of the market, and it would be, right? Everybody would sit down with it and be like, how many appointments did you go on this week that the people already had Primerica? They're like, 9 had Primerica out of 10. Right, wouldn't that suck? Right, if everybody won, that would not be a great place. There would be no opportunity for the people that are going to go and win. Okay? And the last thing that I'll just go over right now, there's 30 of them, by the way. All right, there's 30 of them, non-negotiable items. I recommend you go on the website. You can actually print it out, the entire puzzle. You can print it out. I recommend you print it out, and then you highlight the areas that you're doing good at, and the areas so that you can shore up your weaknesses, okay? Because every one of you got weaknesses. We all have weaknesses, but you got to shore them up if you're going to grow and get better, okay? And then the last one is, I am a loyal team player to all that depend on me, sacrificing for the good of the team. We are a team. This is a family. Right? We don't hurt each other. Okay? We don't hurt each other in this family. We don't hurt each other. Look, I want to beat, when I beat Chuck, which will be very soon, by the way, when our bass shop beats Chuck, right, I want him to be doing $150,000 in premium. Are you guys with me? You know what I mean? I don't want him to do bad so I can do good. Well, I of course wouldn't want him to I override him, okay? But Frank Beltran, right? I want Chuck to do a $500,000 bass shop, okay? But Frank Beltran does not want Chuck to do bad so he can beat him. He wants Chuck to do great, and then he wants to beat him. Okay? That's called healthy competition, and that's good. We encourage that. I'm a competitor. If anybody knows, I mean, I want to win. I freaking hate losing. I told my bass shop yesterday, I was telling Judy and Lewis, I said, you understand, man, these guys, they started coming around, they're winning all the damn awards. Pisses me off. It really, I mean, it makes me mad. It really does make me very, very uncomfortable. It makes me very mad, okay? And I think that's good. If you don't feel that inside of you, look, Chuck wants to beat Narin. You know, he wants to beat Arizon. I mean, there's always somebody that's going to kick your ass. And so, you know what? If you don't have that competition, you'll stop and you won't grow. So you got to compete. You can't limp out. Say, well, you know, I ain't never going to beat them. They're doing too much. No, bullshit. They found a couple of people that wanted to play, and they coached them and taught them what to do, and then worked their asses off. That's how they won. And that's how every single person in all of Primerica history has won. Deal with it. That's just the way it is. There is no other easy way. I wish there was. Right? Wouldn't it be nice to snap your fingers, okay, I got a 100-gram bass shot. Wouldn't that be nice, right? It'd be wonderful. But it's diligent. It's tedious. It's it's the little things. Showing up on time. Calling your new recruits. Karma, being on the phone. Making sure our meeting attendance is growing. Building new relationships. Answering those stupid questions that those greenies keep asking. What's team leader? You know, it's like, oh my God. Do I got to explain what a team leader is again? Right? But I do it excitedly. I do it, you know, positively. I do it with passion. Every single time. See the difference, right? See the difference? See, you don't stop. You don't get tired of doing the same things over and over. I was a baseball player. I played baseball from 4 years old all the way up to 21 years old, really. Consistently, almost every single day for half my life, I played baseball. How does baseball work? They throw the ball, you swing, you hit the bat, you hit the ball. That's all. You do it every time. You batting practice, you know how boring batting practice is? Just hit the ball off the tee over and over and over and over. I mean, how boring is that? If you really think about it, how boring is that? Over it, throw the ball again, throw the ball again, throw the ball again, throw the ball again. You just keep throwing. Man, how about a basketball player? Shoot the ball, shoot the ball, shoot the ball, shoot the ball, shoot the ball. Never stops for years. Kobe Bryant just shooting the ball, shooting the ball, shoot. He doesn't get tired of shooting the ball, does he? Right? Doesn't get tired of shooting the ball. So you can't get tired of talking to greenies. You can't get tired of talking to those new people. You can't get tired of doing the same things over and over and over again. 10,000 in person. I challenge anybody in this room. I don't think anybody will do it other than Roger Pena. I think he has an opportunity. But there's still a part of me that says he'll probably get tired because he's got 6 kids. So he'll probably get tired. I give him maybe 3 years. He won't be doing 10 grand anymore because he'll just be overriding his guys and that kind of stuff. So he probably won't do it. But I can promise anybody in this room, if you do 2-3 directs a month and 10,000 in personal production, for 5 years, I guarantee you. Now, I know nobody will do it. I know nobody will do it. I saw it yesterday, right? Nobody will do it. We got a lot of $10,000 guys. You know what? A lot of those people on stage, they did 10 grand one time, and then they stopped doing 10 grand. Shit, that was fast. That's it? 1 month? I did it for 5 years. 1 month? You kidding me? You're tired after 1 month? So I challenge any one of you You do 10 grand for 5 years, consistently, every single month, you're going to wake up making $500,000. At least 450, I can tell you, because I woke up, I was at 450,000 in income. I don't know. I don't know. What the next? You're going to do the next 5 years anyways. You're going to work the next 5 years anyways. Why not just do it for 5 years and get it done? And then we were basically retired before I was 30 years old. I was done. Saved $1 million. Financially set forever, forever and ever and ever. How awesome is that? Isn't that what you want? And all you got to do is write 3 stupid sales a week? You're kidding me? You got to be kidding me. You're telling me that you can't write 3 sales a week? You're telling me that it's too hard to write 3 sales a week? If you were focused on writing 3 sales a week, do you think you could write 3 sales a week? Yes, but you're not focused on writing 3 sales a week. That's all. You're not focused on it. If you were focused on it, you would do it. But because you're not focused on it, you don't do it.